come on, Stan. I'm Diva. Back to this video by Screen Rant. This is 25 movie moments where actors weren't acting. Damn, so it was like a real scenario to where, you know, they were actually showing true emotion? That's interesting. We're about to see what's on this list. Let's watch.
Even the best actors eventually break on camera, revealing their true selves and having genuine reactions to specific moments. While many of these scenes end up on the blooper reel,
that better not be real. I would have slapped her.
Create some of our favorite classic movie clips with famed actors like Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Julia Roberts, and Will Smith. Before you watch, click subscribe. You'll join our notifications.
I remember the one with Leonardo is when he like had blood on his hand or some shit. Yeah, this one. And I would have been mad.
Django Unchained. The wild production of Django Unchained went on for several months as Quentin Tarantino tried to perfect his Western about slavery. Through the months and months of filming, the actors stayed committed to their roles, especially Leonardo DiCaprio. DiCaprio played slave owner Calvin J. Candy, and during one scene, he gives a speech where he slams his hand down on a table. During one take, he smashes a glass with his hand, instantly cutting it open and spreading blood everywhere. DiCaprio continued to stay in character during the scene, and even rubbed blood on Kerry Washington's face to make the moment even more intense. Now that's commitment. Pretty Woman. No. Even with the outlandish plot and the hooker with a heart of gold storyline, people still cannot get enough of Pretty Woman. If you manage to catch the film on your favorite streaming channel or through one of the countless cable reruns, pay attention to some of Julia Roberts' infamous cackle scenes. Her laugh practically made her a star, and the big laughs she uses in the movie are all genuinely her own. First comes when Roberts gets a true surprise. As Richard Gere shows her a beautiful necklace, he snaps the lid shut near her hand in a completely unexpected moment. Her loud laugh and giddy reaction was all Roberts, and the moment was kept in the final version of the film.
So pretty.
Home Alone. Kevin McAllister made a lot of plans in Home Alone, but there's one thing his portrayer Macaulay Culkin never planned for from the experience: a scar on his finger. During the climax of the movie, Kevin gets hung up on the back of a door by Harry and Marv. Joe Pesci gets a little too into his vengeful role as he actually bites down on Kevin's finger and leaves the poor boy with a scar he can still see today.
What the fuck?
Alien. For an audience to feel the intensity and feelings of fear, actors need to portray them as genuinely as possible. In many films, filmmakers will keep things from actors to get those moments. Alien is one of the best examples of this, as several of the cast members had no clue exactly what would happen during the chestburster scene. No one expected to see the blood, guts, and moving alien creature to burst so suddenly and fast from the astronaut's stomach. The classic moment was made even greater thanks to the reactions and pure terror on the face of the cast. The Blair Witch Project. Thanks to the ultra-low budget of the Blair Witch Project, the actors actually felt stranded in the woods with limited crew members around them. The filmmakers who were there put a lot of psychological stress on the actors, shaking tents, creating scares, and providing them with very little food to increase their anger and anxiety. Many of the nighttime camping scenes featured real reactions from the actors, as they were truly frightened and scared from the experience in the woods. The Wolf of Wall Street. A movie moment was made when great actors Leonardo DiCaprio and Matthew McConaughey got to share some screen time together. While Matthew McConaughey was playing the role of Mark Hanna, he channeled his own rituals for one of the more memorable scenes in the movie. The meditation chant scene was an actual process McConaughey goes through before calming himself down before any movie role he plays. Obviously, the chant works, as he won the Academy Award for Best Actor back in 2014. Kramer versus Kramer. Even 40 years later, it's still hard to watch the divorce and child custody battle presented in the classic drama Kramer vs. Kramer. When the Meryl Streep and Dustin Hoffman film was being made, the ending was supposed to be very different. Then, the director filmed the two stars casually talking on camera and using their real-life conversation to end the film. Dustin's line, "You look terrific," was genuinely delivered to Streep, while editing made it seem like the two characters were just talking. Die Hard. One of the most dramatic shots in the Bruce Willis action flick Die Hard is when Alan Rickman falls to his death from the top of the skyscraper. Rickman's face is full of shock and panic, not just because of great acting skills. The stuntman told him he would drop on the count of 3, and the actor was released much earlier than that. Just see the look of betrayal on his face, and you'll realize how genuine the whole moment feels. Good Will Hunting. When acting opposite of Robin Williams, you could expect anything to happen, and Matt Damon had a chance to enjoy some of the actor's great improv while filming Good Will Hunting. The scene in question involves Williams telling a story about his wife farting. Turns out the whole thing was made up by the actor on the spot, and Damon's laughing is all real and unscripted. Of course, the whole brilliant scene ends up in the final film, showcasing another example of Williams' brilliance and legacy.
Alright.
Back to the Future Part 3.
This is the worst one.
The most dangerous part about filming the Back to the Future trilogy would be driving a DeLorean or using a hoverboard. But for Michael J. Fox, a noose almost derailed the whole production. To help make Marty McFly's hanging scene look more realistic, the actor allowed his body to dangle free on the rope. A miscalculation caused him to actually choke himself to the point where the actor needed to be hospitalized. The struggle is real with Marty McFly, and the highly dangerous scene was kept in the final cut of the film. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
That was the
Factory.
worst one though. 1 and 2 was way better.
Gene Wilder's portrayal of Willy Wonka was even kept a mystery to the child actors on set. There were many moments the children were not expecting, and their real reactions were captured. This includes Wonka's first introduction, the infamous riverboat scene, and the scene where Wonka berates Charlie for drinking the fizzy lifting drink. Turns out owning a chocolate factory may make you a little mad sometimes.
He was crazy shit.
There's something about Mary. Seeing a small dog fly out a window may be shocking enough, but the Farrelly brothers wanted a real passionate reaction out of Cameron Diaz. The best way to do this? Moon her, we guess. One of the brothers decided to drop pants outside the window and moon Diaz when she ran over to the opening. As she peers out the window, you hear her scream and react. This isn't to the dog, it's to the bare butt pointing back up at her. Bad Boys 2. The classic boyfriend meeting the girlfriend's mother is taken to a whole other level with a comedic
This
scene
looks
in Bad
so
Boys
real.
2. As both Will Smith and Martin Lawrence confront Reggie, a lot of the scene was improvised.
I already knew it before I even was told. I was like, he didn't know.
Will Smith even pulls a gun out at one moment, a moment which the young actor was not expecting at all. The Turning Point. Ballet is intense, and the crazy rivalries have been captured on film numerous times. Years before Black Swan, ballet fans got to enjoy The Turning Point. Each character was punished to the limit, and the filmmakers wanted some genuine reactions within the film. In one scene, Leslie Brown was supposed to place a drink down on the bar, but was secretly instructed to throw it in Shirley MacLaine's face. MacLaine's pure shock was 100% real, and the scene was made better because of it. Glory.
She did look super shy.
Denzel Washington's Academy Award-winning role in Glory brought out the best of the actor, and it might have been because of the real whips he had to endure while on set. When the director thought he wasn't getting into the character's struggles and punishment enough, Washington had an extended scene where a whip slashed across his back over and over again. Shortly after, it didn't take long for Washington to harness the emotions and struggles his ancestors had to go through for years. The Usual Suspects. One of the most iconic scenes in the crime film, The Usual Suspects, showcases a lineup of the 5 criminals and main suspects. What was supposed to be a serious shot turned into a laugh fest as the actors tried to contain themselves. Why were they cracking up so much during the scene? Well, blame Benicio del Toro. The actor was continually passing gas during each take, and eventually the whole cast could no longer contain their laughter. The take worked and was used in the final cut of the film. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. After seeing the first 2 Terminator films, there's one thing to take from it. Don't mess with Sarah Connor, or her portrayer, Linda Hamilton. Ken Gibble played an orderly who kept pulling his punches on Hamilton, and during each take, she would slam her knees into the concrete. Getting fed up, Hamilton got her moment of revenge during the asylum escape scene where she makes good use of a mop handle by clobbering the poor guy and refusing to hold anything back. The scene feels extremely authentic and showcases why Sarah Connor will always be one of the greatest action stars of all time. Rocky IV. Sylvester Stallone has dealt with hundreds of punches throughout the whole Rocky franchise, but nothing comes close to the power of Ivan Drago. During the filming of Rocky IV, Stallone wanted actor Dolph Lundgren to give it everything he had. Stallone was hit with a punch so powerful he needed to get transported to the hospital by helicopter. Of course, just like Rocky, Stallone never stays down for the count and was able to return to film shortly after. The Shining. The Shining may be a masterpiece in horror filmmaking, but the true horror was felt by the actors who had to deal with a grueling and intense set. Stanley Kubrick loved pushing his actors to the limit, including Shelley Duvall. Duvall was verbally ridiculed and tortured with take after take of some pretty intense scenes. Her stress, crying, and emotion were all too real as she tried to escape the horrors of her husband and the haunted hotel. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. In a fantasy franchise like Lord of the Rings, there are not a lot of real elements. That is, unless an actor underestimates how hard and powerful a kick can actually be. In a scene during The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Viggo Mortensen dramatically kicks a helmet. He then falls to his knees and screams. The reason? He actually broke his toe during the kick. He was in so much pain he fell to his knees. The 40-year-old virgin. Paying for and implementing CG chest hair effects would be far too costly, and probably look a lot worse than Henry Cavill's CG mustache removal. This is why Steve Carell only had one choice when filming The 40-Year-Old Virgin, to actually get his chest hair waxed. No, Kelly Clarkson! The scene is a comedy classic, with Carell screaming for dear life, yelling out random things, and showcasing pain that nobody wants to endure. Casa Blanca. One of the more moving scenes in the classic film Casa Blanca involves a group of singing patrons at a bar, trying to oversing Nazi soldiers. The scene is very emotional, and features a number of the extras openly crying and tearing up as the scene concludes. Turns out all those scenes are real, and the actors were actually French citizens who had to deal with Nazi invasions. The scene was all too real for them, and represented both their struggle and triumph. The Exorcist. In The Exorcist, who can forget the classic pea soup puke scene where a fountain of vomit streams out of the unpossessed girl's mouth? The puke sprays all over the priest's face, sending him backwards with a look of shock and awe. The look of shock was there for a reason. Filmmakers told him the puke would only launch onto his chest, but purposely aimed it towards his face to get a more natural reaction. Well, it worked, and the scene was made even better just because of the slight adjustment. Fight Club. One of Brad Pitt's best performances will always be Fight Club. He played his role of Tyler Durden to perfection, and even knew how to improvise in just the right moments. During a scene where Edward Norton was supposed to punch his shoulder, he punched his ear instead. Brad Pitt's reaction is 100% real as he exclaims the classic film line, "Why the ear, man?" Birdman. In Birdman, Michael Keaton really pushed his limits as an actor and was forced into some pretty uncomfortable situations. One of these situations was when he was forced to walk around Times Square in just his underwear. For the scene, some paid extras were inserted to the shot, but Times Square remained open to the public. Watch closely to see the real reactions of workers and tourists as Keaton wanders by in just his underwear. What's wrong with me? Why do I beg people to love me? What was your favorite scene in this list?
And this was a really interesting video. I enjoyed it a lot. It's crazy that they kept these moments in there and it added to the authenticity of the scenes, you know? I probably was a little too quiet, I'm not sure, but when I'm really into something and really paying attention, I'm like really quiet. When I'm watching movies or TV shows, I'm dead silent. I don't talk at all. And when I'm around people who talk, I get so irritated, like shut the fuck up. So when I'm doing these reaction videos, I'm purposely talking because I'm in tune to y'all. I know y'all just don't want to see me sit here in silence, so I'm in tune to y'all. So I'm only partially paying attention to the video. That's why a lot of shit will go over my head because I'm not 100% paying attention. I'm like focused on y'all too, and I'm thinking out loud, so I'm trying to be conscious of what I'm saying. Like it's a lot that goes into it because I know y'all watching me. But if I'm just paying attention to something, like I'm not gonna talk. I'm quiet. Like my focus is like tunnel vision. So I don't know if I was too quiet in this video or not. I don't know. But let me know what y'all thought about the video though. Let me know what other videos you want to react to. And I say that shit so fast. People be talking about how fast I be talking. I need to slow down. Let me know what y'all thought about the video. Let me know what other videos you would like me to react to, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!